Hey, what's up guys, Mashin here, come back with a brand new video for you guys. Today we're going to be doing a lot of different things. We're going to be talking about the brand new case, the brand new capsule, and going ahead and opening up a couple of them, but most importantly talking about the investment portion of all of this. Obviously we're an investing channel, that's what we're here to do. We're going to be starting off opening up one of the Revolution cases after a quick word from our sponsor, SkinsMonkey. The sponsor for today's video is SkinsMonkey. Now SkinsMonkey is the quickest, easiest, and most importantly safest way to go ahead and trade your CSGO skins. Now SkinsMonkey is super easy to use. You just have to take your item, take the item you want, and just go ahead, apply code MasterShiny to get your free $5 if it's your first trade, and just click trade. And if you've got no money to spend right now, they've got two ways for you to get some. First is just heading over and topping up. Make sure to use code MasterShiny for a free 5% there, and they've also got the freebies section where you can go ahead and enter free raffles that happen every single day. And as always, thank you so much SkinsMonkey. Make sure you're using the top link in the description to claim your free $5 today. Now looking at the brand new case here, I'll be honest, I'm not the most impressed. There's a couple cool skins like this M4A1S here. I think it's decent, but honestly in my opinion it does seem a little bit, I don't know, catered towards a certain audience that's just not really me. You can see obviously I think people are calling this the Akihabara except M4. There's some cool skins like this. Honestly looks like the acid etched from the Prisma 2 case in my opinion. I don't know if you see it, but to me it seems like almost the exact same skin, which seems almost a little bit of a waste. And the rest of the skins are pretty much but they're also blues. So let's go ahead, open one up, see what we get. Well, there goes a pink going by, and we're going to end up getting the Tech 9 Rebel right here, coming in minimal wear. Honestly, I don't even know if you could tell the condition about this, but then we've got the capsules. Now, I'm not going to spend too long on the capsules here either. A couple things I do want to point out is I really like this snowfall sticker. It really reminds me of the old DreamHack souvenir stickers. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. I'll throw it up on screen, obviously. I think it's really cool. It kind of reminds me of that. Otherwise, we've got the infinite triangle being the third looking sticker like this in just a different shape. We've got the squarish one, and then we've also got the hourglass one. So there's a lot of blue stickers here that I really don't care about at all. I do know that Arco Digital did get a sticker in there and he was very excited about that, but we've got two of these, so let's go ahead, open them on up. In my opinion, I'm hoping to get that snowflake glitter because, as I mentioned, that's specifically what I thought was pretty interesting. I think it's one of the better looking stickers, but let's see. And we are going to get Cyber Chicken here. Interesting. It's a hollow. It doesn't have a ton of hollow effects, it looks like. Oh, I guess it's the wings and the hair. But I guess interesting-ish sticker. Now getting into the investment portion, which in my opinion is much more significant than what we were just talking about. But basically, there's a lot of important things that people are not fully realizing at this moment. The biggest one I want to point out is we're going to talk about the active drop pool in just a second, but the clutch case gloves came back. And this is very important because this means Valve is not against bringing back old rare special items. This means potentially we could see like a Gamma 3 case, a Spectrum 3 case, something that we don't really expect to see because of how old it is. Let's be honest, Spectrum 2, Gamma 2, those are pretty old cases when we want to look at years. I mean, they're multiple years old, and the fact that clutch case, even though it was in the active drop pool, was about 5 years old at this point, and the fact that they were brought back is very significant, and I don't think enough people are putting that much emphasis on it, even though everyone's always talking about how they want brand new rare special items. The fact is, if we could see some of these older ones come back and potentially release in, maybe we're getting a couple more cases, obviously a little bit of copium there, but I think that's very important. But then once again, talking about that active drop pool, so it seems from everything the clutch case is gone, and obviously the Revolution case is replacing it in the active drop pool, sticking with that consistent 5 cases. Now this one is very interesting, and I do have a potential theory as to why. If we want to look at it, clutch case has been dropping off a little bit in unboxings when we compare it to those top 2. If we want to look at the entirety of 2022, clutch case was dominating for the most of it, except once we get to those latter months. As you can see, it was starting to fall off a little bit. Obviously still a very heavily unboxed case, and I think Valve realized it was probably time because the clutch case is the #1 most open case in CSGO. It's been the cash cow for the past multiple years, and I think it was time that they realized we need to move on and we need to make sure we're not losing out on this money. It seemed like people were opening up the clutch case because of the gloves, even though the ROI on it was terrible. And I think that's exactly what they realized and why the Revolution case was brought in with this rare special item. Now, the impact for the other 4 active duty cases probably isn't going to be very significant, except for potentially the Fracture and the Snakebite case. Even though they are still at a very cheap price point when we compare it to the other 3, I still think there is potential for these ones to go back down in price. The Fracture case specifically was pumped up a little bit because people were expecting a brand new case. Obviously, this was the longest time we had ever gone with a brand new case in CSGO, and therefore people were kind of pumping it up a little bit, kind of investing in, and nothing to say against that. But I think, honestly, in my opinion, I would expect this to fall down a little bit, and I would expect overall Fracture case and the Snakebite case to really not get a ton of interest for the next couple months, because we just saw we waited over 200 days for this case. It's probably not too likely we're going to be seeing another case anytime soon. But now, everyone's favorite portion, we're going to be talking about the clutch case here. The clutch case is such an interesting situation when we're talking about investing, but basically the clutch case absolutely went monumental in price. People are saying it peaked at 85-90 cents, and when we look at the Steam market, we can see that the average was around 66 cents, but there was 70,000 sold at that price point, and tons more sold at different price points all throughout the time period, because there was just so many listed on the market. You can see 125,000 listed, or rather sold, were for 42 cents. There was tons of activity with the clutch case, which is what we expect. The thing I don't think a lot of people expected, though, is how quickly it fell back down. Obviously, it still is up in price compared to what it was sitting at beforehand, but honestly, not by a super significant amount. At least when I'm recording this, it's at 43 cents, and honestly, I can't say I would expect it to go much lower. If we want to talk about realistic, I think it's very possible that the clutch case could probably go up a little bit from here, and that's because we know that the Revolution case, especially when we look at Dreams and Nightmares, and specifically the past 2 cases that have been released, I mean obviously including the recoil there, these cases are still extremely expensive and have almost reached their equilibrium at 66 to 70 cents, and therefore why would the Revolution case go any lower than that when we know this is going to be a very in-demand case, judging by just the rare special item. And adding on to that, the Revolution case is most likely going to be more expensive than the clutch case just because of the skins inside of it. The clutch case does not have super desirable skins. It's got the M4A4 Neo Noir, the MP7 Bloodsport, not very desirable compared to the AK and the M4 that are inside of the Revolution case, which obviously are a little bit overhyped now, but in the long term, I think they're definitely going to be a little bit more desirable than what we see in the clutch case. Therefore, I think it gives the clutch case a ton of opportunity to rise in price, because it's probably going to be the cheaper option for so many people when they're looking to open up some of these gloves. You can see here, a lot of them are thousands of dollars. Talking about everything, I can't give you a decision one way or another if you should be investing or not. I will say though, definitely keep your eye on it. You don't have to be invested today if you don't want to, but it's something you really need to be keeping track of, because this is probably going to be the biggest market mover potentially in the next couple months. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.